I'm now going to continue my Why Are You Poor video series with this. And this particular video is going to be addressed to a Twitter user whose handle happens to be Pedantic Professor. Okay? Now keep in mind, as we continue on with this video, it is not so much what the guy said that got to be the real problem. It's the way he said it that got to be the real problem. Let me explain. A few days ago, this gentleman posted the following tweet on Twitter, and it's still up there right now. It says, "I think part of my reticence about Bernie Sanders is that his campaign reminds me a lot of Occupy Wall Street, not a winning strategy." Well, I happened to see this tweet, not the day he actually posted it, but a few days later. So, I actually decided to reply to this tweet to see what he would have to say next. Alright, so this is what I said to him. I said, "What do you think is a winning strategy?" And what was his reply to me after this? Listen very carefully. "I'm not a politician, but I can tell you that responding to 10-day-old tweets is not a winning strategy for Twitter." Now let's let that sink in for just a minute. Do you think that that's a winning tweet? Do you think that that would encourage me to continue a conversation with him? Do you think that that would encourage me to become one of his followers? If you think those things, give this video a thumbs down. If you think that that's poor attitude, then give this video a thumbs up. Now then, let's go on. So I decided to reply to him once again, and I said, "Why not?" And what did he say to me? "It's kind of like trying to continue a 10-day-old conversation, and that I don't particularly feel like engaging in it." Well, if you don't feel like engaging in this conversation, there are a lot more polite ways to tell somebody, "Hey, I don't want to continue this conversation," yet encourage those people to continue following you. His initial response to me was the problem. It didn't encourage me to continue a conversation with him. It didn't encourage me to follow him. Like I said, it wasn't so much that he didn't want to continue that conversation, which I would have perfectly understood. He could have said something like this: "Well, you know what? I had this conversation 10 days ago. I'm really not particularly interested in continuing this particular conversation, but if you'd like to ask me something else, feel free to do so." You say, "Well, you can't post all that in a Twitter tweet." Actually, yes, you can. Not the way you would normally do it, but what you could do is you could pull up Notepad or some other word processing program, and you could type all this out, and then use your print screen feature on your computer, turn it into a photo, and then post the photo onto Twitter and send it to the person you're trying to send it to. And then I could read what was on the photo, and then I could respond to that. So yes, you technically can. It's kind of an interesting, dirty trick, but it can be done. Or you could have, like I'm doing now, created a video response, which then I could have watched and I could have responded to. There are lots of ways you can get around this. So like I said, there were more polite ways to tell me you weren't interested in this conversation than to do what you did. That's called poor attitude. See? It's all about the way you word things. If you want people to follow you, if you want people to converse with you, especially if this is somebody brand new and somebody you've never met before in your entire life, the one thing you don't want to do is to give them the impression that they've bothered you in some way. "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to bother you." I mean, if you don't want people talking to you, don't get on Twitter. That's the whole point of social media 101. And I've taught this before. If you're going to be on social media, be prepared to talk to people. If you're not prepared to talk to people, get off of social media. You see what I mean? So, now, am I going to send this gentleman a hyperlink to this particular video? The answer is yes. I want him to see this. like I said, one of the biggest problems with the Occupy Wall Street movement is they're not realizing that they're shortchanging themselves because of little things like this. This is part of the reason why we have these problems with Occupy Wall Street. They're poor for some of them. Okay, I'll back up on this. Some of them are poor for specific reasons, and one of them is this right here. Okay. Whew. Anyway, so social media today is very important. And you say, why is this so important? The reason is that we are shifting from an industrialized society to an intellectual society. And one day, either you're going to be smart or you're going to be unemployed. That's the way it works. I don't care whether you believe me or not. Do the research. You're going to see this for yourself. More and more jobs today are being replaced by machines. And either you get really good at social media and you get really good at technology, or you're not going to have a job and you're going to starve. I don't care whether you believe me or not. I'm telling you the facts. I'm telling you the truth. You can argue with me all you want, but it's the truth. Okay. Anyway, this is one of the reasons why so many people are poor. This is it right here. That's all I've got to say for tonight. I will tell you more in a future video, so I would like for you to stay tuned.